It's showtime. It's Friday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for Transformers, the show.
I live my life walking down the street, meet the faces of the people I see. All the time I see a reflection. All the time I see a reflection. It's okay to feel alone. It's okay to be alone. All the time I see a reflection. All the time I see a reflection. 'Cause when I'm with you, it seems so easy. Seems so easy. My best days are with you. They are so easy. They are so easy.
Right, tonight we've got Victory Saber and the Hasbro Pulse reveals. Plus, we have a discussion at the end. Our top 5 War for Cybertron robots so far. We're going to class them and rate them and chat about them. All the usual stuff. We've got Fanstoys Innuendo, pickups and more. But now, it's time for the news.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Oh, hi! Newsy news.
Rohan loves the news, to be fair to him. You can't get enough
He
of it.
does. He loves the bloody news. Right, so tonight's news was all about the Hasbro Pulse reveals today. So the first one was Star Saber, well, the first and only one. So let's have a little look. We've got a brief synopsis of what happened today. It's over to the Hasbro Pulse bit.
Are we actually going to show all of it? We're going to... Everyone knows this bit. I guess we are. Full combined mode. Full Star Saber mode. Good old Victory Saber there. Leader of the Galactic Defense Force. Boom. Available now. October 2021. That's the cut-off point.
I mean, wow, Victory Saber, like from the get-go, like you're just gonna get Victory Saber, no Victory Leo unlocked here, it's Star Saber, it's Victory Leo, Brainmaster, you get it all from the get-go.
Nice.
Cool. So that was the news today. That was Hasbro Pulse. I feel a bit flaccid about this. Has anyone got a semi for this?
Full on Robo Chubby. What are you talking about?
What?
Yeah.
You all in, Andy? Are you all in then?
I'm in. I've signed up.
Cool.
Yeah, I've gone for it. So I'm more excited about this than I would have been about Unicron, to be honest. Because to me, the Unicron is just it's just too big. It's not, it's a great centerpiece for a collection, but it's basically a giant £600 statue that's basically going to stand there most of the time and not be touched. Whereas this is a figure you can actually pick up, transform, do stuff with, and it's not going to take you an hour and a half to transform, or sit in a box never transformed at all, or sit in the background never transformed at all.
It's put it on a desk.
Exactly, you can take it with you. Stick it in the other seat and take it with you, so you can take it on day trips and have fun. It's great.
You get a 1-inch Brainmaster, you get your 5-inch Saber robot, 8.5-inch Victory Star Saber, and then 7.5-inch Victory Leo, which combined to something size.
Yeah,
5-inch Victory Leo.
Your
knowledge and your obsession with sizes is always fascinating.
Especially when
you're always with the inches.
All on has a website. So.
That's why I wondered why you misread it. That's
There's tiers. What's the tiers all about?
That means when you get to a certain number of crowd fingers, they'll throw in something extra. For example, when they get to 14,000, they'll throw in a big gun. So when you get to another number, they'll throw in something like a sticker.
Will they ever throw in the shoulders for Galvatron?
Well, maybe this is the point. Is they're going to have it misassembled, but if we get to 30,000, they'll have it correctly assembled.
They'll actually make it.
Yes. It won't be a cardboard cutout.
Your legs are backwards.
Everybody knows, though, that we are obviously huge Japanese continuity fans. We're all experts on Victory Leo and Star Saber. So
yes, like a second home.
Exciting. Exactly.
Sometimes we talk in Japanese about it.
That's it.
That's right.
As I said after I saw this with Arigato.
It doesn't seem right to use English to discuss Victory Leo, to be honest.
In answer to your initial question again, I think it looks good, and I was excited enough about it to jump on this one, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Jamie?
Yes, I put my money down. I'm supporting them. It's a good cause. I hope everyone else is doing the same. Yeah.
I mean, the size of it, if you've watched the video, the size of it is, it's pretty hefty. The Star Saber figure itself was a pretty decent size. You're talking like Jetfire size for that on its own. And then the Victory Leo figure was probably bigger than your average leader size. So, and the cost wasn't that bad. I was waiting for them to say it was some ridiculous price, but it was £180, which, don't get me wrong, it's not cheap. For those people who can happily throw £180 at figures, great. For those of us who can't, where that's a much bigger decision, you have to think about these things, whether you really want it. But I thought
about it for 5 seconds. Actually, I thought about it as I was typing any details.
Yes. Were you distracted?
He looks like the guy who broke into Capitol Hill for the Republican.
I was going to say, he's got the Jamiroquai hat thing going on, which we all love.
Don't start another Twitter conspiracy. Oh, God.
If you get him and the MAGA edition Power of the Primes jazz together, you form Ultimate Trump.
Are you saying that he's not
Victory Trump?
He's saying he's not Victory Leo. He's
Denied Victory Trump. Got it. Cheesy. What's it?
He's just a space cowboy.
They'll try and cancel it now.
He's just a space cowboy.
I got a brain. Look, we get a brain of courage, Brain Master. What more could you want? That's worth the money alone, isn't it?
Poundmaster Brain.
Oh well, you see, that'll be all coming along, I'm sure.
It
does look very good.
The MP version, the MP version was a sack of shit. The best thing about the MP version was the third party bit that Keith did, and it wasn't hard to be good. But you put it on, and the hips just went.
Cool.
Even Flames Toys official one of these. The moment you did all this, put the shit on the back, it just flopped backwards, and it's a sack of shit. Cadmus is quite good. The third party versions of this are better still, but it's I mean, and you can buy them for about 120 quid. So 120 pounds for a third party one of these. You don't get Leo, but for 60 quid extra, you get Leo. So
I still think with this, what you're talking about here is something that isn't going to be, and not everybody's going to have it. It's in scale. It's a character that, I mean, for years we've been crying out saying, well, when are we going to get a mainline Star Saber? Well, we've been given it now, and we've given the chance to get it. And I don't think, when you work out the price, I'd say the main figure alone is probably worth about 80-90 pounds anyway.
Lovely.
I mean,
the Victory Leo is probably going to be about 50-60 quid.
The thing about this is the comments
have
been, most of the comments have been positive straight off the bat, which is unlike other things which usually get announced in Hasbro. There's always someone complaining. People complained about Rodimus before they even had it in the hand, going, "Oh my god, the price!" You know, and with this, people seem to be positive. They're keen on it. They want to support it. We want it.
I'm just saying for
maybe you could do a video and send it into Bobby Skullface, Alexis, and you can critique it.
That sounds like a really good idea.
I'm sure Bobby will be critiquing this.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him. But yeah, I'm sure there's people in the chat. I mean, I can't see the chat comments coming up because obviously when I'm sharing screen, or as I was explaining to Paul, all I can see is what I'm sharing from the screen. But
everyone's really positive, Andy.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
Good and anyone who's not, I've just blanked them.
So 14,000 backers gets you the V-lock cannon and the blast effects. So I'm not sure what tier that counts as, but anyway. Wow. Anyway, we'll move on a bit because I don't know. We could talk about it all day, I suppose, but it's there. Anybody want to add any final thoughts? Paul, are you interested in this? Is this something you're going to go for?
Victories? Oh no. I don't like
not Ramjet.
He hasn't seen the box. He hasn't seen the box, has he?
I just think looks cool there. Nope.
I don't see how he would ever be like an easy pass. I think all chug collectors would have pause to think about it.
Yeah,
you know, because he is like a centerpiece figure. He's like your Rodimus Prime. He's like your Jetfire. You know, he's going to. Or your arc, he is a centerpiece figure, and you're going to have moments to think. And sometimes people say an easy pass, only to suddenly go 6 months later, go, "Oh, I really want one." So I would give it pause.
It's that whole thing of how much FOMO are you going to get over this, and I never particularly felt, honestly, any feeling of FOMO about Unicron. It just doesn't bother me because it's just. To me, for my collect, it's just too big. I don't even know where the hell I would have put it if I'd got a Unicron. Because
it's a bedroom bot, isn't it? Bedroom bot.
Yeah, but it would take up most of a bedroom. I mean, it's just, I'd have to kick the wife out, and she would not be pleased about that. I guarantee that. So this is much more reasonable. This can go, this can be behind me with the other bots and everything, or in kind of where I keep most of my collection as well. And I can already picture where I could fit all that stuff. And the fact that it's Star Saber, the fact it's Victory Leo, the fact they're figures that we won't get. It's not like we're going to get one like 6 months down the line. They're suddenly going to go, oh, anyway, here's the ones in the main line as well. This is like Unicron was a Haslab thing. It's going to be special. And
he's one of the most widely known Japanese figures. Even for people who have not even watched the Japanese cartoons.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. There'll be loads of people who are a bit like us who are like, oh yeah, I can't wait. This will be great. What do you know about it? His name.
He has a big sword, the best sword master in the universe, or something.
Something like Transformers Go or whatever he shouts.
He was murdered fully by Cyclonus in IDW.
Arify said, "Don't forget to like the video." I thought he said, "Don't forget to finger the video." I read it wrong. So don't forget. I think that should be our thing. Don't say thumbs up. Don't forget to finger the video, everyone. Don't forget to finger our video.
If you ever text Paul, never give a thumbs up because he thinks you're trying to finger him.
He prefers
Please
a finger
our video.
Moving on. So Cyberverse fans, this got released this has been found in Singapore already, and my understanding from what I read on TFW 2005 was that nobody really knew this was coming, but this is a Ramjet figure. It looks all right. Obviously, it's that cartoony style of Cyberverse, but It'd be interesting to see what size it is and what quality it is, whether it would be a good standing chug.
And these they're about the same size. I think the RC actually Subverse I got it for my boy for Christmas. He actually has that one. He plays with it. I think it's actually better quality than the Chugverse.
Well, I'd agree with that. Then we had this kind of leak reveal. We don't know what exactly we're looking at here. Supposedly this is a reformatted version of Kingdom Galvatron. It comes with the bits and pieces you can see in the picture, which includes the Quintesson spacecraft, who, if it's got a name, I don't know what it is, and the Junkion spacecraft, I believe. And then some little minifigures that will go with your Haslab Unicron or Arc, yeah. A little version as well of the Revenge there, even though you've got the two guns that look like the Revenge as well. So you've got kind of the main spacecraft and little mini versions of the figures of the main characters who were involved in
God damn you, Hasbro. I'll have to get it.
This is the interesting thing, though, you see, Jamie, because I'm sure you will. But the thing is, there were rumours apparently of a listing found for a Galvatron versus Unicron or Galvatron and Unicron 2-pack, which nobody knew. Well, what does that mean exactly? And so people are asking, is this part of it? Well, what's that going to mean for the Unicron? Because you'd assume it's not going to be Haslab Unicron and this. So maybe we're going to get a smaller version of Unicron.
Or just a big head.
Just the head, yeah. Just the head.
That'd be awesome.
To use the moon. But anyway, that was
always wanted a head as a playset, like an Arc, something you could open up and put the wee figures in.
Yeah, that would be quite good, wouldn't it? Because I mean, season 3 they went inside his head, didn't they?
Yeah.
Was it Ghost of Starscream? And I'm sure there was another episode where they did it as well. But anyway, so that was fairly big breaking news. Depends whether you're excited about that. The only thing is, as I think Arrowfire pointed out in a comment, he put ultimately, when is this reformatted Galvatron from? Is this supposed to be from the end of his change from Megatron to Galvatron? Because it doesn't look like anything I remember from the cartoon. So it's a strange take. It seems to me like the quest for more money, but we shall see. And also revealed was this guy who apparently is a leaked version of Puffer. Not Pipes, not Huffer, but the character Puffer. So yeah, it looks like we're getting the Pipe/Huffer mold again. As this particular character. Anybody particularly know much about Puffer?
I have no idea. It's a ridiculous name for.
No. It just sounds a bit dodgy. But it's there. There it is. Another one of those leaked bots that we get to see. So
and now we're going to be able to see his hands, aren't I? So he can.
Yeah. He's got very long arms. He's very
What's he been doing all day? We were saying earlier in the pre-show. He just found he's 40 years old. He's just found out about Pornhub. He's battered those arms. Poor hands.
Like that episode of Family Guy when Quagmire first finds out about the internet. Anyway. We digress. What else was in the news? We had some colour photos of Masterpiece Cliffjumper, I believe, which Alexis Yude has shared these in, and I did see these on a couple of sites as well. So thank you to J Khan7, whoever they might be, for these photos. I don't know, it just... Yeah.
Little gun at the back there, which he shoots laser big with.
Yeah.
Remember that from second episode, the mini trilogy. The Ulmos always look really solid with MPs, and I've never doubted them. And the Transformers always look solid in Ulmos normally. It's when it comes to rope mode and that just those feet, they just I don't know. It's not as bad as Bumblebee, but it's still pretty shitty. I think when you've got Fanstoys coming out in the not too distant future, no release date just yet, by the way. For anyone interested, I have been checking up, but meh. We'll see.
I was just reading Dave Wave has posable nipples like Retgar, who pointed out that Puffer is based on a Mexican release of G1 pipes that use the Huffer mold, although he has admitted he got that from Toys R Us. So
Toys R Us
with the knowledge drop and Dave sharing the knowledge, teamwork. That's what we like to see.
The rest of the video, Toys R Us, check out his video of this week if you're interested in that.
So it's a Mexican variant.
Yes.
Donald Trump would not like it.
What's next?
We then had Legacy and Studio Series and Rise of the Beasts toy listings. Now, some of these are a bit confusing because when you actually look at the names, some of them are still under code names. So we've got Transformers Alpha, which any ROTB is Rise of the Beast, in case anybody hasn't figured that out yet. George Transformers. George is
the monk. Is the George of the Jungle monkey ape? He's
so it could be
Prime.
ape. Yeah.
That's Prime.
Spike from the Studio Series, $8.49. Which is interesting.
I reckon that's probably going to be Spike. That's code name for Spike, I reckon.
Thank Christ you're here, Alexis. Safari. Not sure about that one.
It's the way his brain works. It's like lightning.
Journey. Don't Stop Believing. We'll all be picking that one up. Orion. So are we getting Orion packs? Cyclops. I'm guessing Shockwave. Cyclops.
Yep.
Pluto, which obviously is based off the Disney character.
The dog. So that'll be
Megatron in Legacy at $9.99, which you'd assume is like core class. Transformers Barcelona. Any thoughts on that one?
That'll be the free times version. Free times version. That will be
Transformers Barcelona. Queen. I don't know. So
Queen Alien,
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Barcelona Olympics. I don't know.
Hot Rod in Legacy. What is again assumes core class.
Oscar.
And then as we move down, we've got Movie 7 Deluxe Outlaw. Be interesting to see who that one is. Dead End, $22.99 for the Legacy. Just Warrior. Just Rise of the Beast Warrior. And then Deluxe Pluto, Deluxe George, Deluxe Barcelona, and Deluxe Titan.
Look at the price of Warrior, $31.49. Look at, and if you go back, look at all the rest. So he's the same as George. Oh, you got George, haven't you? George, you go up about 5.
Yeah.
George, that's almost.
I'm guessing that's going to be like Voyager size, given the new pricing range.
I reckon Warrior is going to be Dinobot then in that case, because everyone sees.
Could be.
Think he's
could be.
Right.
Anyway, so they were listed, and that was all of the official mainline Hasbro-y news.
Mainline.
So we will. Did I stop sharing that? No, I will. And we will share a bit of wonderful third-party news, even though it's been blown out of the water by Haslab.
Back up, people. Back up. You might want to write this down. Go, everyone. We'll give everyone a minute in the chat. Go get a pen because you want to write this down.
Or go get a cup of tea, whatever you feel like. Anyway, here we go. And by here we go, I mean Alexis, here you go.
I was waiting for some music.
So Zeta are milking it a bit more. They did their originally did all these bots as singulars, then they did them as Bruticon, which was in the color scheme you can see here with the toy chest plate, and now they've decided to give you a die-cast Vortex style toon accurate chest plate and metallic finish again. And this is going to be released, I believe it comes out in October, I think this year. So if you haven't got one yet, you can either get I think you can get a metallic one now. People are selling them second hand for about $340. The original ones go for about $300. I imagine this one will be around £360.
What's the chest? This new chest supposed to represent then?
It's metal.
So the toon.
I got the diecast part, but what I meant was, did you say it's Vortex? Because it looks like part of Blastoff.
Blastoff. That's what.
Oh right, sorry. That's why I was confused because when you said Vortex,
see, I was looking at Blastoff, but Vortex gave me the eye.
I don't forgive you, Alexis. To be honest, you should know this stuff.
It does look like it's got a little face on its chest.
Arrowfire's got this, isn't it? Arrowfire's review. If you check out.
It's very good. Yes.
Very good review.
Humans are made to make faces out of things. That's why we make faces out of clouds, or that's why you think you've seen.
Speaking of which, what a lovely segue into Mastermind Creations MMC R48N Optus Nox, which is released in the fourth quarter of 2021.
Someone knows their stuff.
It's almost like I read it.
You massive professional.
I'm the Mac Daddy here.
So
I am very tempted to get this figure. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
What gave it away? The battle damage? Is it because half his face is missing? I don't know.
How did you know? Oh, that is beautiful.
Opera Optimus Prime.
Look at that, though. I mean, that's just... And he's shouting as well. Oh, just... Yeah. The wife will be overjoyed when I tell her that's another 120 quid or something.
It's a steal at that price, so it's a steal.
I believe it is. So what what MMC done, I think it is £120. What they've done though, because obviously it's a remold, they're making more money on it. But what they are doing is giving you the extra bits. So you get the extra face sculpt with that. You get the sword. You also get the cape.
Get the what?
Which makes them invisible.
Sword.
I don't know about you, but when a Transformer puts on a cape, I just don't know who it is anymore.
That's a mystery. Is that Ultra Magnus?
Yeah.
That does look nice though.
So you get a lot more with it than you would do normally. So and
still get the pointy finger. And
this is such a great figure generally that you get these extra little nuances as well. And with the cape, actually, he reminds you very much of who's the is it Nemesis Prime? Not Nemesis Prime. This is who's the one in IDW that goes a bit nuts. That tries to take the Matrix from Prime and ends up fucking himself over.
What are you talking about? The first one?
Yeah. Who goes into the void? Who goes into the void and comes back and has his almost like dark matter.
Nova Prime.
Nova Prime. Yeah, he reminds me of Nova Prime when Nova Prime went dark. You know, I know Nova Prime had wings and this is a cape, but when they showed that cape scene, it looks very. I think to me that just it resonated. No, I've got no affiliation with this particular character. I'm not going to get this myself, but I think if you have an affiliation, the bot itself is
I'm actually tempted just because it looks awesome. Sometimes you just got to go for beauty, Alexis.
You do indeed.
Yeah.
Well, bit of picture repeatage there.
That's why I always masturbate with a mirror.
I'm about
there goes that PG rating.
And some tweezers. Are you ready to have a party?
Right, keep going. What's next? Next.
I have a selection depending on
undamaged face.
What sort of mood I'm in.
I would use 2 cotton buds. It reduces infection, but yeah.
Try to start a fire.
Pre-applied aloe vera.
All the news that's new and improved, and there you go. It's nice looking, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
And then we're on to this.
Some of the best hands in the business he's got. Orion packs there. This is the. They call it hands.
Last week.
They call it.
I don't know why. You can use Transformer hands, I guess, instead of tweezers.
This is shut up. This is X Transbots. They call it Youth, which is Year of the Horse. I think I don't know why they call it Year of the Horse. So this is their toy version of the Menasor, and you get different head sculpts there. You can see you can see them in the flesh there. Head sculpts. The one on the right looks like it's got a weird eye. Like
which mood of Menasor are you today?
The one on the right looks like he's like almost like wink, like raising an eyebrow, like winking sort of thing. It's weird.
I don't know. That face looks kind of too small. That looks kind of too angry. And that looks like big face.
Yeah.
Next photo. So it's just the toy version. So you get what they do. The how much you get the extra. This is the extras as well. So which I did buy, and I would say if you buy Menasor, these aren't worth it. I think there's one extra head sculpt in it. The arms look okay. You get the laser bolts, but here you get, if you look bottom left, you get the little car which came out of it, which you got the original Road King. That was those Fanstoys with the original Motor Master.
How much does this cost then for this pack? Because this is a separate pack, isn't it, to go with all the other stuff?
This is 50 quid. So you get the guns which go on the cars in alt mode if you display in alt mode. Little clips on there which go on that. You get extra heads.
How much is all the bots for this?
The bots are
for all of them together. Roughly, how much is that going to come to before you add on the extra 50 quid?
They're about 60 quid, about 60 quid each. So 60 times 4, 240 plus £100 for £90 for Motor Master. So we're looking at what's that, 330,
right.
And you've got £150 for the trailer.
I was going to say, is this the one where you buy the trailer separately?
Yeah, so
the thing that you need to combine them.
So we're really looking at about £500 all in, just over. So next photograph. So there he is in combined mode, and this is him in normal mode. And then does it have the one with next photograph with the little thing on his chest? This is the normal chest.
That was the only one you sent.
Brilliant. Okay, there is another photograph with the little car on his chest, like you get in toy mode.
Ooh, describing the news. I like this. There
you go.
Something happened today. It looked like this.
Clearly, I paid attention when I sent those photographs. Is that it? Is that really all there is?
Yeah, that's all you said.
Wow, not much third party news this week.
Anyway, I've stopped with the sharing. The sharing is stopped.
All right, cool. So this week we also had a little bit of one of our co-hosts was on another show, which was absolutely fantastic. So there's another YouTuber out there. There's more than 3 of us. Bobby Skullface. He had a young man sent his his collection in, and I just want to say, like, they were possibly a little bit harsh, but I think at the start of the show, don't they? They say, Bobby Skullface says, by the way, we're going to rip apart your collection and critique it. But I think what we learned and what they said was just how cool and amazing your collection was, Alexis. So Alexis was on Bobby Skullface.
What part was that?
But they kept referencing the quality and stuff. And actually, we know you have an amazing collection. I've got a little, just a little sum up of it here.
This is from Alexis, and they're in there. They're in there.
That's a Calyx?
It's a masterpiece collection, and unfortunately, you got to make a decision here whether you want more cubes or less toys.
Talk about bad cube, am I right?
Well, okay, in all fairness, I feel like
that is an amazing collection, Alexis. I know what he's done. He thought that would be 4 minutes long, so he's run off to the toilet.
He's got to check Noah Stoney's collection.
When were you in my house, Farrelly?
You've just flipped him over the edge and it's just too much to take.
He's just run off.
You're right, RJ. Bobby Skullface did keep calling him a girl, but I think that they just weren't sure the name Alexis in America probably.
Did they?
It's boys and girls. Yeah, they kept saying they started off calling him a boy, and then for some reason halfway through, one of them referred to him as possibly a she, and then they all just start calling him a she.
Well, it's like Alex, isn't it? You got Alec for boy, Alex for girls. So.
Right. Well, let's go straight to Rohan's Corner then, as Alexis has gone for a wee. So
Rohan.
Hello, and welcome back once again to Rohan's Corner. And this week I'm coming to you from the past because I'm actually on holiday this week. So I've had to pre-record this episode so you get some Rohan's Corner goodness on Transformers the Show. Thank you guys for including me as usual. This week I thought I would talk about something that's bugging us all at the moment. Kingdom Wave 3 is out there and we've managed to receive quite a few of them. At least I have, for a change. In the recent few days I've picked up the Ark, picked up Kingdom Trax, picked up Kingdom Galvatron, Kingdom Rodimus last week, so on and so forth. However, it seems to be the case that many of these figures seem to have many QC issues. And I know it's a topic that's very hot right now, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on with this. So, I don't know about all of you, but my Kingdom Trax is pretty much a bit of a floppy mess, just like a lot of people's. This leg, for example, just doesn't want to stay in place, and while he can stand, it does take a little bit of fettling to get him there. On Rodimus, who I got over a week ago or so, I've got paint defects on the chest and on the side, on the exhaust pipes, and at the same time his trailer doesn't tab together correctly. Now I know there are fixes for these in terms of putting a little bit of super glue or clear nail varnish on the tabs, but should we be having to do that for what is in essence a £95 Commander class toy? Probably not. And then of course there's the massive issue of the shoulders on Kingdom Galvatron. Alternate shoulder syndrome it's being called. I've gone to the extent of buying gap fillers for mine to ensure that I don't get the pin look, because I'm just not very sure that I would be able to fix the shoulders without destroying the figure. And he now looks great, however, should he have had these shoulders incorrectly assembled in the first place? No. So, with so many figures coming out with these QC issues, what can we do about it? Well, if you contact Hasbro UK, let's be clear, Hasbro UK are basically a marketing arm of Hasbro's global corporation, and they can't do too much. They don't have too much stock, most of it comes in and goes out very quickly, and they generally have to bow down to whatever the US says. In addition, they don't get to pick and choose what they can import and when. They get pretty much told what they're going to get. Occasionally they may get the chance to bring in some overstock, or they may get the chance to request some particular lines or particular bots, but usually that's months and months in advance of a line actually being put out there. And with Legacy around the corner and some great figures on the cards, certainly for G1 fans, for Beast Wars fans, and even for potentially Armada, RID, who knows what other lines are going to be put into that trilogy. There's a potential for some great figures to be made, but also a potential for some big QC issues. And it's not just QC issues. Let's take the Ark, for example. Now, I haven't actually had a chance to get this big boy out of the box just yet, but if we look at the gaps on the side of the Ark's space shuttle mode, what is that? That is hideous. It's huge. I'm not a big fan of the colour. I think it should be a deeper shade, and at the same time this little cockpit here seems pretty small. I don't think it was on there in the original G1. The guns and everything else look quite nice, and the placement. I didn't need the robot mode. I would have preferred a playset, but hey ho, that is what it is. So, moving forward into the future, are we going to get to a situation where we, the fans, we, the market, are going to get more of a say of what actually is going to be put out there by Hasbro? Going by the last Fan First Friday, no. It's going to be dictatorship as usual, and possibly even more so, with the US being prioritized as usual and everyone else pretty much being forgotten. What can we do about it? Who knows? Maybe we should band together and build our own Transformers empire, build our own 3P manufacturing, and then eventually get taken down by Hasbro for IP rights infringement. I don't have all the answers, but at least maybe we can do something about these QC issues. And there are lots of fans who are offering help on some of the Transformers pages on Facebook, for example, and there are people offering third-party gap fillers and the such like, which is okay. I mean, there's an additional cost, which is not great, but at least there's some workaround for some of these bits. So should we all be complaining? I mean, ultimately, some of these figures, Galvatron and Rodimus, for example, will look absolutely epic. I am very pleased to have them despite the faults. Trax, I haven't had enough of a play with him just yet. He looks okay, but depending on how bad those faults are in him, am I going to be excited or am I going to be disappointed? We shall see. I'll probably do a comparison between Kingdom Trax and Mech Fanstoys Trax, the Legends Plus scale figure, and see which one I like better. And I have a feeling I already know the answer based on the floppiness of Kingdom Trax, but let's have a look and see, shall we? Anywho, for another week, I've been Rohan on Rohan's Corner. I look forward to seeing you again next week, where it will be in the present time. Back to the studio.
Hey boys, we've been rumbled. Well, let's bounce.
Thank you, Rohan. That was awesome. So that leads us straight on to pickups. I just love the. Did you see the pictures in the corner of Rohan's video? Just loads and loads of pictures of QC issues and Transformers. Yeah, it was absolutely awful and hilarious.
It's worth saying, just to add to that, if people. So if you are dissatisfied with anything you buy, there is obviously the goods to sell service act for 2015, which means that if you can prove that an item was defective as you bought it, you can return it at no cost, that charge to wherever. So you're well if you don't like it. So. But there is warranty as well.
I mean, he's not wrong though.
True. Right, on to pick up.
We now return to the Transformers.
Go on, Alexis. What did you get this week, sir?
If I can share my screen. Sherry, screeny.
I had to mute myself. I think it was a really big burp.
Let's share. Is that working? No, it's not working. Didn't work properly. Why didn't that work properly? Let me just do that again.
You muted someone else first?
Hang on. No, it'll work this time. Do it again. That was a lovely picture of a hill near me called Cock Marsh, if people are interested.
Cock
It's called Cock Marsh. There's a pub at one end, which you can only get to by foot,
which is 2 balls.
And there's a Roman road at the bottom of that, and it's a nature reserve. And over the top, it's a lovely little walk. So,
but you go there walking often at night.
There we go. So, is that working now? See that screen? If I do that. Here we go. So this is what?
Your face again.
It's your face.
There we go. Brilliant. So on the right hand side here, you've got Fanstoys Ultra Magnus, which is now owned by RJ Callahan, and I will be sending this out to him shortly. On the left hand side here, you've got the new Magic Square Magnus, and this is actually their White Prime, and then the add-on kit, which is like a, you know, like in the IDW, it's like a kit which goes on top of like a armor. This is basically what it is. It's a comparison between these two, almost.
Cool.
So
and is the Fanstoys one, is that an oversized version 1 of Magic Square?
Which way is the button? There we go. Yes, the Fanstoys is an oversized one, so it looks smaller in this sort of mode here. But as you'll go through, I did a little bit of a homage to that episode 86, was it? Was it episode of the comics? Episode 86 of the comics, I think it was, where Galvatron and Magnus fight almost to the death.
I remember, when Galvatron wanks off Ultra Magnus' head.
I know what you're getting at, Alexis. It's the front cover when they're having the big battle and he's riding on the top. He's ripping onto the cab, and it's a fantastic.
No, it was a precursor. It was the precursor to Time Wars, wasn't it?
It was Target 2006.
Yeah.
RJ's said it there.
I think it's, if you look at the comics, I think it's episode 86 though as well. The comics. But this is my little rendition to that. If he wore this, if he had this suit, it'd be different because he bursts out in his robot mode.
Thrust.
Exactly, and he calls.
And he's staying alive. Yeah.
Galvatron's about to throw down. He calls his suit upon him, and then
again, if you go back one, it does look like
he's got one big owl.
He's calling him a wanker. Like Darius, New Age Galvatron, saying, "You're a bit of a wanker, mate."
Yeah. So I couldn't find the box for Darius in the loft, and
let's get the other hands.
It's like,
he does look like he's going, dick.
So I was like, I could have got the other hands out for Darius.
Well, he's still doing it there, isn't he? He's going his leg to the side. Yeah.
Right, so the one thing I thought, will they pick up this? No, it'll be fine. They won't pick up on that. They picked up on it straight away.
It's cool photos though, really good photos.
So boom, so he gets his power suit on and he starts to transform, and then Darius is like, "Oh fuck this shit, I'm out of here."
He's not put his trousers on though.
That's why he's running.
He then gets his trousers on. Darius is now making he's out of there. He's gone, shit, I've got wanky hands.
Why am I hearing the Benny Hill music as I'm watching this?
And then Magnus then fires his super rifle at him.
Sexual ecstasy, Galvatron.
And then
why is he shooting him in the cock? That South Park episode where he shoots him in the penis. Stop shooting people in the cock.
Anyway, pickups.
And we move on to my pickup. So the eagle-eye viewer will recognise that I actually got Magnus about a week or two ago. However, the yellow plasma here, which is the pickup this week, I got this energy. I got lots of these energy things. I'll share them when the photograph's finished, and they make like this type of like effect. I thought they were really cool, and they were like about £7. These are the comparison shots again, so you can see if you look. So on the right hand side, MFT, you can get one for about £20 if you can find one. Left hand side, you've got to pay about £25 to £30 for the inner bot, and if you're unlucky, you pay about £50 for that white robot if you can't find it. And then about £25 to £30 for the actual outer shell. So you're paying about 70 to 80 quid for this bloody thing. I didn't pay that, by the way. I paid like 50 quid total because again, 2 bots combined. But the actual posability, he looks better, static. He's not very articulate. MFT, much more articulate, doesn't look quite as good in different ways. I think it's a very good complete figure overall. But if you can make do of the MFT version, then you can do that. And he actually does have better posability with the head and everything else. But Magnus does come with his super guns. So that's a benefit. So like almost like a homage to the IDW style.
It's always a bigger gun that wins out, isn't it?
Oh, it's what you do with it, really, isn't it? But that's the end of my photographs. So that's the end.
You don't need to do much with a bigger gun. You just point and press that trigger.
Exactly. So I stop share. Is that working? There we go. So what I actually got then were these blast effects. That's what I got. There we go. So you got these, and they actually so you can see you can make them into different things, and They've got little plugins so you can plug them into ports and things. They didn't quite fit that port, but they can make different areas, so you can actually have different style effects, and they all sort of connect into each other and stuff. And I thought it's quite cool as a.
It's pretty cool, actually.
I thought for £7-8 quid, and again this is the one that you can actually get.
Where did you get it from?
I found this second hand, but again you get little ports, and then this has got a little port in here, so you can plug them into you can plug the ports in to themselves or to other things. But again, I'm happy. They're all in Chinese. Star Soul Lightning Effects. So. But the enemy style lightning effects. So I'll try and find out from the gentleman that I bought it from, who I paid the sort of £7-8 quid, and then I'll let you know.
Awesome.
So that's my pickup.
Cool. Right, who would like to go next? Andy.
Andy would love to go next. Thank you. I'm not sharing any photos because I haven't bothered taking any. I've spent most of this week unwell due to the wonders of COVID. So highly recommend nobody gets it. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
That's just COVID. It just brings out the glow in me and the vomit.
You look like a young Boris Becker.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Who just came out of a restroom,
having had COVID. Anyway,
I think you should ask for. I think you should ask for a second serve, mate.
There you go. God, that's shit. Anyway. Fangry, there you go. What are we calling this? Bumblebee, Buzzworthy, Fangry, 4-pack Fangry. So
not
Bohemian's Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Thanks to Christopher Mead. Cheers, Chris, who managed to get a few of these sets. Not many over here in the UK, and God bless his heart. I was only messaging him, asking him about, have you heard anything about these things, about whether they might be coming over? And he basically said to me, "Oh, well, I've got some coming, and I'm already putting aside a Fangry because I just assumed you might want one." And I was like, "All right, cheers." So really kind of him, and really pleased to hold him. I'm not going to lie. The reality is his legs aren't too bad, but they are loose. They're looser than you normally would expect.
They're not as bad as Croc.
No, nowhere near Croc. Croc's ones like a Croc, and even my Skull Crunch is a bit like that as well. But it's just it is the character. That's the thing. That's what I love about it.
Well, we chug collectors are hardy people now.
We have to be. Thanks to the QC. Thanks, Hasbro. We love you though. Still keep making them. The head. The only thing that interested me, which I hadn't realized beforehand, is the head sculpt is basically the same as the Titan's Return one, just slightly repainted. I thought they'd done a different head sculpt for it, but it is basically the same. I've had them side by side, and it's just the paintwork really that makes it different. But I'm not bothered about that. I'm really happy to have it. You can see I've given him my G1 Fangry gun because, of course, it doesn't come with a gun. Cheers again, Hasbro. So I've given him the G1 Fangry gun, which does fit in his hand, and looking good.
Do he looks gorgeous. I was taking some photos today of him, and he's just fantastic.
He is. The colours and everything. It should look. It's a shame about the QC bits. But if we're going to get the other Headmaster Juniors, the Decepticon ones in particular for me, because I'm a big fan of them, then I'll take, this is the thing, as a chug collector, Masterpiece guys might not have to accept this, but as chug collectors, sometimes you've just got to take what you can get with some of these characters. I was going to do a quick comparison with the G1 Fangry, but I can't be bothered now. And the other thing I picked up, I forgot. Chris sent me the instructions, the entire instruction booklet as well, just because he thought I'll chuck it in with yours, because he was selling the other lots off separately. I don't need it, but it's nice to have. It's just one of them things. And then the other thing, which I've been umming and ahhing about this for a long, long time, and I was talking to Chris, and anyway, he said, I've got one of them if you want it, and came to an agreement. So he kindly provided me with the Siege Reflector box set. Now I like the mainline reflectors that we got. I like the refractor, but I'm not calling it refractor because I hate that. It's reflector. I like them because they remind me of the cartoon ones. But I always remember as a kid seeing, these bots, and of course they were like the mail away ones, weren't they? And you could you even get them in the UK? I'm not even sure. I'm sure some of the lads in the chat will be able to say. But I always kind of had that thing of like, I remember as a kid wanting them. Anyway. Chris has sorted me out again, and it's lovely. And I've got him in his camera mode at the moment because I just like it in the camera mode. Little Kremzik,
some good pickups
on top. So that was really nice.
Is that Kremzik or just a flash going off?
It's Kremzik. Yes, it is Kremzik. I mean, I could have lived. I'm not really fussed about the Kremzik thing because I actually found it really annoying in the cartoon. Like people look like, oh, wasn't it wonderful? No, it wasn't. It was annoying. It was like a novelty episode. But anyway, it's a really nice set, and it just looks really cool. Yeah. So my daughter likes the fact it's a little camera as well, so she's been pretending it's a camera. So those were my pickups this week, and I know for a fact that I've got definitely one thing coming because I had a notification email of something being dispatched that I've been waiting a very long time for. So hopefully I'll have that.
Is that Getaway?
Yes, MMC Exitus, which they've been saying for anybody else who ordered through Kapow, you'll know that they've been saying for a long time. Or if you're like me, you'll know because I kept asking them. Well, we don't have a date. We don't know when it's coming. We can't tell you when we're going to get it. And it was supposed to be here in February. And even last week, I actually rang them last week and just said, is there any update at all? Like, should I be expecting this at all? And the guy I spoke to just said, I'm really sorry, but we're still waiting to hear. It's MMC themselves. We're just waiting to hear from them. And so I kind of was starting to give up a bit of hope. And then, like I say, today, notification email, it's been dispatched. So hopefully have it at the start of next week. So it just goes to show. Order from Robot Recruits. No, I'm joking. Power have been really, really good about it, to be fair. They've put up with somebody like me moaning at them like every month. Has it coming yet? Is it
making
coming yet?
voodoo dolls.
So it's nice. It'll be nice once I actually receive it. But I'll get that dreaded feeling that I'll get it and I'll get it. Oh, shit. I'll sell it on then.
A curse on you and your family.
Right, was that it?
Yes, and I think now it should be your pickups, Paul.
All right, me. Can I just say that was awesome.
Can I just do a very quick one? So you mentioned MMC, and we didn't mention it in the news. MMC Rung.
Oh, yes.
What his name is. MMC Rung is available to pre-order now from Planets Express. So if you were looking at the Rung photographs, it's a PSX exclusive. He costs, with postage, about £70. So if you want to buy a Rung, go on to type in PSX and then Transformers. That's the easiest way to find it. Or if you type in Planet Express.
Or you could buy the excellent Chug version for £8.
Awesome. Right.
Right. So for this week, I got one Transformer, which was Trox. So I need to get the MFT one. So I've had him out of the box. I've been back in the box. I transformed him. That's just a really Hasbro. So today and later on we're going to do our top 5 War for Cybertron Transformers. I've only got 4. I've got some extra bits to go in with my number 1. I can't find a 5th, and I picked him up today. I thought, come on, you can do it. And his face sculpt is, if you look there, that's what I want my tracks to look like. And what's in the box is the complete opposite. It's just a really, he's really flat as well. Like he's small. He's like 3 inches tall. He's got he's the opposite of Earthrise Prime. He's just got
I'm only laughing because Claire's ordered some stuff off Smith's because we've got Emily's birthday coming up, and she asked if I wanted a bot, and I said, "Oh, well, there's a few of these ones. I wouldn't mind if you're ordering." And I don't know what she ordered. If she ordered me anything for feeling tracks,
I like tracks.
You're really selling it to me, Paul.
Well, I've been back in this box. In fact, I sold some of my Chug stuff that I didn't want last week, and I completely forgot to send it to the guy. So I've packed it up. I'm going to send this in as an apology because it's a week late. I'm going to put it in and say, look, there you go. So it's not really an apology. It's
you're CJ facing him. Seriously, you're CJ facing him.
Write an apology. Just write.
You just say sorry.
say sorry for delay.
I think any more than a week is rude.
Wear that lipstick that you like. Wear the lipstick that I like.
I'll send him some pictures as well.
I wish I'd bought it now.
He'll get the dirty dirt. He'll get the dirty dirt.
It was so cheap. You did it so cheap anyway, mate.
But steer clear. He is not good. He is not good at all.
Have you not got the MFT version? As you said.
Oh God!
Was that your beer? Your beer?
That was the glass.
Is it empty? Is your glass? Is the glass
empty? It was
empty,
and I caught it mid-way. Luckily,
you know what?
Face.
Why am I highlighting it?
You made my lamp shake.
I panicked.
You made my lamp shake in my room with your job.
I've gone rogue. I need to add Alexis to the stream.
What are we doing?
Don't put that on there. Right. Have you not got MFT?
No, I haven't.
Oh, really?
Why, are you selling yours?
No, it's really good.
Just a flex thing, was it?
Just a flex. That's all it was.
I'm surprised because you're always about MFT. You're always about the Legends stuff.
Right, Jamie's turn.
Jamie.
This week, all I got was actually a Dungeons and Dragons gift set from Hasbro Pulse. Drizzt or Driz. All seems to have different pronunciations, so I got that. I have no clue how to pronounce his pet panther.
What's it start with?
As I said, I have no clue.
Does it have a name?
Oh,
Gwynwar.
Gwynwar. Yeah.
Gwynwar.
Guinevere.
There you go.
Guinevere. It may. I know it's not Guinevere. It may as well be written in freaking Welsh.
I think it's a silent
Gaelic.
Big shout out to all the Welsh fans.
I think it's a silent B. It's a silent B.
Evening, Ed.
Bob.
It's a silent Guenhw. I'll just call him Var.
Hello, Brad and Ed.
But it comes in a wonderful.
Yeah, hi Brad, if you're
box.
watching as well. Sorry, I've not been in the chat much. Working and everything.
No markers this week. Can't see him yet.
And the box itself is inside the sleeve is also awesome. And you've got some nice accessories. The sort of little cat icon thing, which becomes the panther. You've got some spare hands. You've got another head there, and you've got a dice. So it's a nice little gift set, to be honest. And I quite liked it.
Why is it? Why is it? Why is?
That just really made me laugh.
All two of you.
Is that
the fighting talk? The Scotsman fancies his chances.
Why Drizzt, Jamie? What's all
well,
about
because he was the only one that was a fucking gift set, Alexis, to be honest with you.
I was like, what's the affiliation with the character? I've never heard of Drizzt. Was it?
Well, that's because it's a Dungeons and Dragons character. I got to know him through games like Baldur's Gate, and he always seems to appear as a guest character in all those sort of Dungeons and Dragon type games. He somehow guest appears, but he's quite a well-known character. He's been in a lot of computer games, and he's got his own books, etc. Cool. Books where he is the main character, not books that he's written. But yeah.
He's an author.
Yes.
His own action figure.
I love his poetry personally, but yeah.
Drizzt, the wizard.
His cookbook's brilliant.
Is it?
Oh yes.
Is it?
His roast dragon.
Absolute wizard.
Master Chef Baldur's Gate was a classic. My groin is really wet, so
is that after the poetry?
This is the character.
You really like the figure.
This is the character that Paul likes to play, and it's always good to see Paul go running off and where he dies.
Is that him?
Yeah.
I am awful at that game. Can we go back to Fortnite, please?
I'm kidding.
Worms.
Okay.
Right.
Ooh.
Well, I think that rounds us up to discussion time, doesn't it? I haven't missed anything, have I? Oh, Fanstoys Innuendo.
Fanstoys Innuendo. We haven't done that.
Discussion time.
Right. Let's get us back to an even pedal. So it's time for an evil pedal. Fanstoys Innuendo. Let's go.
Why is it free? Is this it? Is this it? Oh, sorry, is this it? Or have you just accidentally sharing your phone?
No, it's Fanstoys. You can see Fanstoys Masterpiece Group. When I wonder who's the person who thumbs us down, do you think it might be the admin from the Fanstoys Masterpiece Group?
Let's be honest, it could be almost anyone.
Yeah, right, there's so many who dislike us for good reasons.
Whoever does thumb us down every week. Cheers.
If it was them, Paul, they'd just kick you. You know what an admin's like. You are one.
Everybody watching, give a thumbs up. Let's counteract it.
I thought you would never ask for that, Andy.
Oh, come on. Give us the clicks.
If you like us,
share,
give us
and
a
subscribe, damn it.
Don't. Oh, Andy, I'm going to quit the show. So, this is someone in Fanstoys Masterpiece, the Facebook group. You have to guess what is under what the real photo is. So I've replaced it with this photo of free Wi-Fi. Look at her forehead. It looks like the free Wi-Fi symbol.
Can we just understand?
Can you guess who the Fanstoys Masterpiece Transformer is?
Right, the bang is okay, gentlemen. Bang has nothing. Bang has nothing to do with it. It's about the image. That's all.
Yeah, it's about the image.
Don't get
forehead.
RC Elita one.
No.
Free Wi-Fi
Fire in the background. Is that something to do with it?
Free Wi-Fi.
Free
internet.
Wi-Fi.
Go into Paul's mind for a second, right? Like swoop down and get some fashion, right? Free Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is on her forehead. Forehead is on her.
That's as far as you've got.
I'm lost in his mind. I'm now confused. Paul's mind, help me.
Think about
Help me.
Wi-Fi. Think about Wi-Fi. Think about your internet. Think about Norton. Think about your VPN. Think of a good VPN server.
No.
Who would it be? Who's good?
You said Norton.
Norton, yep, Norton. What school did I go to? In Ashford?
School of Hard Knocks.
Norton Natural Grammar School for Boys. Think about the Norton Natural Grammar School for Boys.
Oh god.
We study a lot of physics. What do you see in physics? When you look up into the sky?
Star Saber.
Star
Scream. Star Saber. Star.
That's what they call you. Bang. Well done.
It's so easy when you think about it.
It all makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
We now return to the Transformers.
Right, let's finish off with our top.
That's fucking
5.
masterpiece. It's not even Fanstoys.
Your masterpiece, mate. Let's finish off with our top 5 Transformers from the War for Cybertron line. So, War for Cybertron line, I'll go first. And in at number 5, so my favourite Transformer so far, and you should be able to see him straight away. Alexis has quit the show. Is a Bumblebee. So, Netflix Bumblebee. He's packed it in.
Oh, hang on. Bumblebee's
right over your face.
What's he doing here? Get out of the way!
I can't. Let's ever do that. Right, so it's Bumblebee. So I just thought it was Cliff Jumper's awesome.
Steve, Bumblebee, please stop touching me like that, Andy. Don't have fun. Don't put the bum
I
there,
need to
Andy.
mute him. Right,
Yeah, you can mute him too if you want.
So so Bumblebee number 5. I thought he was awesome, and Jamie, you coined the term mini masterpiece for Cliff Jumper. He was brilliant, but I just think the detail on this is the first time where, and to be fair, there was a massive difference in the price, but Bumblebee. War for Cybertron Bumblebee and Masterpiece Bumblebee wasn't that different, and this was the better version. So that's my number 5. Number 4 is Warpath. I just love a good Warpath, and I know loads of people complained that the transformation was too complicated, especially around his leggage area. But I felt it was fine. And if you collect Masterpiece, you're used to those sort of transformations, and it just lended more factor when you said about them being mini Masterpiece. He kind of is. And in both modes, so good, so solid. Great tank mode and great robot mode as well. And then number 3, which is actually number 2, is Earthrise Netflix Prime. It's just I bought the original one. The original Earthrise Prime, and he was amazing. I sold him to Alexis. I can see your face. And
it doesn't get any better for me, does it? What are you doing?
Andy, look up and blow a kiss.
No.
Transformers a show after dark. Andy blows Prime. The Earthrise Prime was brilliant. I sold him to Alexis. I think you gave him to your kids. Apparently, is what you've done. And
eventually,
and I only sold him because I just sold all my Chug stuff. So I sold everything Chug, sold it all off, and he was the one I missed. And look at him there. He just looks like the G1 Prime, doesn't he? But he's got the articulation of a bloody masterpiece transformer. Finally, my number 1. So for my number 1, I've kind of used a couple of bots. I've used 3 bots. And it is Cyclonus.
Oh,
it is not. So if I get Cyclonus up first, so I've done a little comparison.
Jamie, why are you wearing a mask?
oh dear.
So there's Cyclonus. He's my favourite of all the any Chug Transformer I've ever had. You've also got, but I want to compare him to my other Cyclonuses because they're all great in every scale. So you've got Chug scale, you've got Legend scale, the tiny bots. Chug scale's the main line, and you've got Masterpiece as well. So here's his alt mode in Sorry, chug mode.
Nice!
And then you've got that is Magic Square. Magic Square. So that's the Legends one. I think so far the chug one's winning, isn't it? Much better alt mode. The Magic Square alt mode's not great.
Yeah, that looks
to
a
be
bit
fair.
Weird.
And then finally you got the Fanstoys one, which looks amazing. Absolutely.
That is amazing.
Splendorous.
Bloody hell.
And then
Jay, what's your end there?
expensive.
Spiky.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's where the money
that's
is.
and then you've got all three there. So first of all, the one on the left is Magic Square, Cyclonus. One of the best looking Legends figures in its robot mode, I think. In the middle, you've got the Chug one. Probably that's where it probably slips. I think the Magic Square one does look better. As and I've scaled them. Obviously, they're quite different in scale.
More expensive as well.
Yeah, more expensive. And Fanstoys finally, which is astonishingly good in his robot mode. So, but the transformation of one of the main reasons I collect Transformers is because I love the transformation. I would say Cyclonus has one of, if not the best transformations of any Transformer I've ever owned. And the Chug version is simply sublime. I'd love them to do a repaint with better colours. But
why? Not the repaint, but why the transformation. What was it you liked about it?
Oh, everything. So all of them aren't bad transformation. Even Fanstoys one goes on. It's 15 minutes to get into his play mode and about 5 minutes to get back into his robot mode. It's just the Chug one. It's so clever. So look at his hand. So you pop a little panel off, and it flips round, and his boosters come round. It's really clever. Whereas when you think the other ones on the Magic Square, when you pull that panel down to hide his hands, and on Fanstoys you don't really hide his hands, you put them into the boosters. The Chug version is by far and away the best transformation.
See, when I look at the first one there, the Legend Cyclonus, he just looks like Abraham Lincoln to me, like with a top hat. And...
yeah, he does.
Score. And anyway,
yes.
But if you imagine that Legend scale, it only comes up to, if you see like halfway up the Chug one, he's tiny. But
it'd be interesting to see if they do a like Doctor Who does one potentially, or Core Class does one as well, which obviously which will quite mention, which will be smaller than Legends.
Cool, right. Who's next?
RJ, what? Why? Sorry, who's next?
I could go next.
Go on, Jerry.
Yeah, I'll share.
Not out loud.
Let's see.
Oh dear me.
Jamie's just closing down Pornhub windows.
I never close those down.
Just minimize.
Favorites.
Spanish
sex law dominates. Here we go. There you go.
So, basically, my first one. I mean, to be honest, I really like all Paul's choices, and and to be honest, Bumblebee could easily have been there. In fact, any of Paul's choices could easily have been there, and I think that's a testament to the strength of the line this year. These many masterpiece Transformers, and because of the articulation, the better engineering, there has been that sort of price increases as well as due to resources and travel and blah, blah, blah. But it's just pity about the quality control issues which seem to be suffering. I just wonder if it's true, like what Robot Recruits had mentioned earlier, but because of COVID, a lot of these factories are operating in skeleton crews, and because of smaller workload and smaller number but higher workloads, it's probably causes a lot of mistake just by their nature. But yes, Grimlock, absolutely brilliant. It was the Grimlock you wanted, huge and big, and it just looked like the cartoon and the comic, Marvel UK comic, and it's just a wonderful figure to pose. And there he is in a centerpiece there with some KO Dinobots, but he just sort of brings them alive. I think he just makes everything around him look even better. So he was my number 5 choice, big and chunky, and just the way we wanted them. Absolutely awesome. And then you had Cyclonus. To me, Cyclonus is... I like taking photos of my Transformer bots. A lot of people, it's about displaying Some it's about the transformation. Me, it's about taking the photos. And the thing about these Transformers is they all seem to come alive under the camera. They might not have all the best articulation, but in the case of Cyclonus, he does actually have quite good articulation. But they just feel alive, you know, even when static. You know, you take that photo, you just imagine in your own eyes, your own mind, that this thing is moving. And he's just a wonderful character. You know, just the poses you can do with him. He just looks sublime. I wish he was maybe a bit taller, but then, you know, I just loved the way he was. As I said before, there's nothing wrong with that picture. There's his predecessor behind him. But yes, just a wonderful, wonderful bot in both modes. And then comes to my third choice, and that's Hot Rod. Hot Rod to me is Studio Series, and it was magical. I mean, the transformation, a bit ropey at times, but you know, it was good. And it was a nice, good sports car from the cartoon. But it was basically, you know, the little things, you know, like the visor coming down and the special effects which you added on, and you were replaying that scene from Transformers the movie, something which still stands the test of time now, even after 35 years. Which to me is amazing. I was looking at the GoBot movie version, and my God, it was pish in comparison to Transformers the movie. You know, so again, absolutely amazing figure. The way the hands are articulated is just brilliant. You know, little clever things. Even this sort of, like, as I said, they're starting to put in a lot of folding in with the transformations now, and just awesome. Just an awesome figure, which again is almost like you know, the way they just bring the other figures alive. It's why sometimes I think we can get upset when some figures just don't seem to match that high standard, which we know they can do. Then we have got Galvatron. He is my fourth choice. He could easily have been number one, but I think the misassembled shoulders debacle set him back. But even so, there was people happy to have this figure with misassembled shoulders, with sulking shoulders even, and because he still looked awesome. That was my homage to Time Wars, my favourite comic story. Wonderful head sculpt, just a fantastic figure. You know, just looks powerful, brilliant. And it's like completing that trio, especially after 35 years. It's awesome to have a Galvatron with a head sculpt which actually matches his body. And then my number one choice is Rodimus Prime. Now, I know he has had some dubious quality control issues, but my figure, Touchwood, happened to be very good. So, yeah, I loved him. Again, an easy figure to articulate, move around, pose around. He could hold the Galvatron. I love that fact that he's strong. And just a fantastic figure, and a good end to, I think, to celebrate 35 years, because this is a Rodimus Prime we won. In fact, he was so good, but I was always interested in getting the MMC version of their Rodimus Prime. Not anymore. I don't care. To me, I've got the complete and ultimate Rodimus Prime now, and I'm delighted to have him.
Wow.
So that's me happy, and that's my top 5. And as I said before, it could easily have been Paul's top 5 as well.
Even the Luminous one, like, you don't want the
no
asterisk, by the way. Wow.
No.
Full circle. You're full on.
I'm not laughing at your choices, which I think were very good, just as Paul's were, but I love the way you went. And that's me happy. And then you look fucking miserable.
This is a Scottish person being ecstatic.
You were like doing a homage to Sean Locke, weren't you? Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm real happy. I am.
Oh, you made me sad. I miss him.
I know.
Oh, me too.
I've got to stop watching Sean Locke videos because they keep coming up every day, and it's yeah. Anyway, let's not get into that again.
Okay, you, Andy.
Oh, let me just share. I have prepared a few photos, not of my own because I couldn't be bothered. I tried to spend most of the day sleeping, but yeah. Anyway, right. We all see that, all right?
Yep.
Ooh, so my first choice is I'm going to go with Netflix Prime just because I prefer the colours on the Netflix Prime. Just something about them just works better for me. Yeah, it's just it's everything. It just works better for me. But I also accept that it's the same mold as the Earthrise Prime, for example, and it is very, very good. Just a fantastic bot, a great version of Prime, looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. I've always liked Optimus Prime, but I kind of feel like sometimes we're so oversaturated with Primes that I get a bit bored of him. But I don't get bored of this figure, and I think it's just a really great version of him. And if they did a figure as good as this in a Power Master Prime version, then I'll be ecstatic. I'll be absolutely over the friggin' moon. But yeah, just a really awesome bot. So I highly recommend the Netflix version for anyone who hasn't picked one of these up yet, unless you're desperate for the trailer. Number 4 was Shockwave. See, Shockwave seems to have got forgotten about a little bit. I mean, there were so many bots. I did when we said we'd do this for our little discussion. I thought, right, this will be easy. I'll just quickly knock together a list, and my list was like 12 bots, and I still could have added a couple more, and then I had to whittle it down. And I decided to go with Siege Shockwave because when I look at this figure now, not like that. I mean, the bits and pieces that come with him, I can live without. The space carrier mode, again, I don't mind it. I actually think it looks all right, but I can live without it. But then the actual Shockwave figure itself, it just looks, everything looks perfect on it. It just the proportions of it, the look of it. When you get in, when you get in close, if you get the chance to really look in closely at the sculpting on that face sculpt, and it sounds strange to say that with Shockwave because he's just an eye, but actually get in close and have a look at it, and it's amazing how much effort they went into for this figure. And of course, he's quite rare now. I mean, I didn't realize it when I bought one. I didn't think, oh, this will ever be a rare figure, but he is. You know, there's a lot of people who missed out on that.
Why is that? Is that because some people buy extra and then just smash them with a hammer? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think we got that many of them over here. Probably with knowing what the Hasbro distribution is like, and then there was a lot of people. Let's be honest, a lot of people said, oh, well, I'm not paying this leader price for this. It's just a Voyager. I'll wait till it's on discount. And the problem with that...
first one? Was he the first leader, though?
He was... I think he was... Yeah, I think he may have been from Siege, yeah. And the problem is that if you wait, you do run the risk of missing out completely. I mean, that's the thing. Like people with the Earthrise Scorponok had the same problem. People saying, oh, well, I'm going to wait for it to be on discount. And then they've sold out. You know, you take a gamble when you do that, and you've got to weigh it yourself individually whether you feel that gamble is worth taking. But I bought it straight away because I was willing to take the chance that it wasn't worth the 45 I think I paid at the time. But I
would never be caught in a discount store, so I had to buy it straight away.
You sounded so snobby then. I would never be caught in a discount store.
I'm joking. I'm always in there. It's my second home.
Seriously. Your picture's just got up on posters all across Glasgow. See this look. Anyway, so that was my
Jamie,
number
don't be
4.
alerted, Jamie. Your picture in Glasgow will still be framed.
Number 3 was Earthrise Inferno. Is it Earthrise or Kingdom? Sorry, Kingdom Inferno. This one is kind of surprising to me because I'm not really an Inferno fan, generally speaking. I never have been. Well, this is it. Despite his illustrious Wrecker history, I've never been that big a fan of Inferno because I always preferred the color scheme on Grapple, even though Grapple is a bit of a wimpier version. But this figure is just amazing. And I'm stealing these photos, as I say, off the internet, but I think this is Liam, friend of the show, Toybox Soulbox. And I mean, he looks... Even when you've just got him in hand, I can't take photos like these guys can, but he just looks that good. You feel like you could. You feel like you just get a camera and just place him in a pose, and he just looks so damn good. And I'm really, really chuffed with him. I've got him alongside Red Alert.
What I love about him was they managed to get that build and that physique and not make him look fat.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen that sometimes with certainly previous figures of him through the Hasbro mainline, and even maybe a little bit with the Masterpiece ones, but just everything about it looks awesome, and another fantastic example. And I've not heard of too many QC issues with this figure. I haven't heard of anything. I'm being brutally honest. I just think it's a great example of what Hasbro can do.
No, they improved on it. They improved on it.
They listened to Jamie's advice about the pegs, and they actually sorted those damn things out before it was released. So that was nice.
He had, because I remember, because obviously I remember the original G1 version. He didn't quite have the length, but he had the girth, and this one has the length and the girth, which is what you want in anything really. Anything.
You do love the length and the girth, don't you, Alexis? Moving on, number 2. We've already mentioned it, so I won't dwell on it too long. But Kingdom Cyclonus, just an unbelievable figure, fantastic transformation. Just the look of it for what you pay for this bot, you're just getting a fantastic bot. And I remember when Paul got it, and he straight away was, oh my god, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was infused to review as well.
Of Cyclonus, yeah.
He's of the same opinion. Like,
yeah.
Well,
that validates everything.
No, but it's just crazy how he gets it. He's like, it's just such a great review, and he's just like, this everything's brilliant. Like, it's stuff that Hasbro's never done before. There's no QC issues.
It's strange that, well, maybe it's not strange, because it'd be really interesting to see how it all works when they're in that kind of the whole design team, and which are there's certain figures that come out sometimes where you just know, like Siege Spinister, which was another one I could have had on this list easily. You know, you just can tell there's love gone into this. This isn't just a job. This isn't just, right, we've got to make this bot. This is effort has gone into it to make it as good as possible. And I'm not saying it doesn't always happen, but there are times sometimes when you fail. It was more of a let's just do the best we can, and then we'll move on to the next one.
It definitely feels, when I've been watching the Hasbro Pulse stuff, that these people do love what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Genuinely do.
That I mean, I'm not saying it hasn't happened in the past, but what was the name of the guy who was head of the development before? And he's gone to Power Rangers, I think, and G.I. Joe. And he when he spoke, you could tell you were listening to another fan, somebody who actually gets it and gets what we kind of were wanting from these bots. But yeah, I think that was what we on number 2. And of course, most people would expect my number 1 to be Earthrise Double Dealer, and quite rightly so. But I decided before I even started this, I wasn't putting Earthrise Double Dealer in at all, because I always gone about Earthrise Double Dealer. I love him. You don't have to. Pish. Shut your face. You don't have to. If you're as idiotic as Alexis, you can just say he's pish. But I decided to go with the one that I got, which I almost forgot. This is the scary thing. I almost forgot this bot. Like I said, I had a list of like 12, and I almost forgot this guy. Go on. It's not CJ Face before you suggest it.
Scorponok.
Damn straight. Hey. Now I could just show him to you because he's behind me, but I'm not going to bother because then I'd have to pick it up, and I'm tired. I have COVID. So I just
milking it.
I just need some of these stock photos.
He's always behind it. He's always behind you, mate.
He is. I always make sure he's there, but that's because whenever I'm on the screen, if you remember when I was doing it from a bedroom where the rest of my collection was, he was always there. And then when I moved into this room, Claire was like, "Oh, you're taking those big ones with you. Thank God for that. That's great. You'll get him out of the room." And I just put it here so I can always make sure he's on the screen with me. But it just is a fantastic bot. And for those people who've got him, I don't think I've ever seen anybody who's got him say that it isn't a brilliant bot. And there's so many people who missed out, unfortunately, who want to get one. I really hope that, they've said, apparently, officially, Hasbro aren't re-releasing it for the UK and Europe, but there are obviously companies online that are sourcing stock from other areas. So if you're after one still, keep looking, keep searching, go into groups like TFUK, and on Transformers the Show, I'm sure as well, we'll share it through Twitter and everything. If we see links to anywhere where you might be able to pick one up, then, hopefully you'll be able to grab one. He's just, for a fan of Scorponok, I mean, he's probably not perfect, but he's as close to perfect as I think we're going to get in this day and age. And I just love the damn thing. And I know people say, "Oh, there's the add-on kits. You can get the add-on kit." I don't need them. I'm happy with what I've got. And
you're a purist.
Exactly. I am. He's just, I mean, it's like, I just look at that, and it could have been straight from a G1 packaging. He looks and is frigging awesome. So I know
the colours was a god.
Exactly. Paul, I know you obviously have your eye on hopefully getting one. and fingers crossed. But if you don't, you'll have to borrow this one for a while. And, you know, that I'd be really interested to actually see you do a bit of a review on it and see what you feel about it, given some of your new love for some of the chug bots that you've had.
Well, he appeals, doesn't he, to masterpiece?
But
he appeals to masterpiece collectors, because you're not going to get a masterpiece Scorponok, doesn't he? And he appeals to legend collectors and chug collectors all the time.
You never know, though. There might be a masterpiece Scorponok somewhere down the line. You know, somebody might have. It's just that they tend to be more stylized, don't they? And this really has a lot of the, not only the toy feel to it, but the actual rebirth. You know, when I look at it, I also see that rebirth design that we saw in the cartoon, and yeah, it's just an unbelievable bot. And then we've been over this many times, so I'm not going to bore people with the story again, but obviously it has that extra meaning as well, being that, you know, you guys got it for me and everything. It's just...
I did protest.
Yeah. I mean, Jamie didn't want to, but...
Don't make me.
Don't even like him.
He said
but he is, it's just great.
And I said, Jamie, I have those photos.
You received them. Oh, good. But yeah, that's my number one. He's a fantastic, fantastic bot. And if you haven't been lucky enough to get one, you know, I would highly, highly recommend picking one up if you can.
He made me swap out my third party. I had the Make Toys Pandenis, and there was one available today.
Yes.
Simon had one for sale actually for about £200, which is a fucking phenomenal price. If you haven't got Pandenis, if you want Pandenis, go onto one of our groups on Facebook. Simon is selling. I'm going to give a surname away, but if you go onto groups and look for Simon, if you're on the groups, he's selling one. I think it's still for sale. He's also got the Make Toys Utopia, which is about twice the price. That's the rare one. They stand about 15.5 inches. Obviously, Scorpy, as you know, behind there, you can see he stands at 20 odd inches behind you next to Fort Max, which is, you know, amazing.
Yeah, he's basically the same. He's a tiny smidge shorter in a way, but he's much bulkier, and it's the feel of it. It's like Omega Supreme. If you've got the Siege Omega Supreme as well, they're proper chunky bots. They've got weight to them. They don't feel flimsy, and they don't feel like you're going to break them when you're kind of transforming them.
As a choice, we're all going to be very interested in the Alexis list.
Right, Alexis, I'm not sure what you're going to do, sir. We gave you some freedom, though, didn't we, to do this?
We did. Well, we did. When we discussed it, we said, what was your favorite? What were your favorite bots? Top 5 bots that came out during the War for Cybertron trilogy. I said that sounds good, because obviously I looked at it. I went, oh well, when did that come out? I went on IMDb and I realized that War for Cybertron came out on the 30th of July, 2020. I thought, oh well, that's quite a period between now and last July. So what bots did I acquire between now and then, and which ones are my top 5? So what are my top 5? War for Cybertron.
Don't you
bots?
know?
Yeah, no, I do. So
You're asking us.
no.
You thought that was a question. I can't remember.
So just so we're clear. So
who am I?
He has been on the beers a while.
my number 5 in this area is X-Transbots Menasor.
Do that every time.
I know that we've had our ups and downs, our love and hate relationship. I haven't got a picture because it's over there. It's behind boxes. I'm not going to get them out because I've got 2 boxes for him. But for a bot, and when I put together in the presence of him, he just makes it. He actually made me want to sell my DX9, Menasor. And DX9 obviously is very limited edition now. That DX9 doesn't exist. It's a solid bot, but just something about the way that it presents itself and the articulation with the Menasor, it made me go, right? That was my top 5. Now, if I was going to be War for Cybertron only, like if I was going to do those bots, then top 5 would be Cliffjumper, because he was the first one that I got, and he was what actually turned me to wanting to actually have chug figures, because it was like, oh, this is new. They haven't done this style before. And just looking at everyone's bots, Andy said you said you had 12 bots on the list, and look at all the bots, right? I think there are a lot of really good bots out there, and I think the level has definitely been upped. And again, you look at the price, which has been upped. I mean, for example, you know, spoiler alert, on my number 4 list is Shockwave. I've got him up here, and I wish that they were £45. Happy to pay that, because again, being an MP collector, Shockwave was a really good price. I would have preferred fuck off. Shockwave. I would prefer them to actually put the extra money into the figure. So rather than you get the extra add-on kit for this, I would say, right, why wouldn't they just put the extra money into actually this generally? Because it's got ratchets on the knees. Look, soft ratchets on the knees. That's really amazing. This figure, my little boy loves this figure, Shockwave. He adores him. So I've got him his own type of a Shockwave, the big one.
And you took this one back from him.
Yeah, it's so rare. I'm not going to
You got it for him.
Did you notice that it's on the high shelf?
Oh, you do like that one. Well,
number 4 bots I acquired during the War for Cybertron trilogy would be Unicron. No one said that, but yeah, that's my number 4.
Would that not be number 3?
No, he's my number 4.
You've got Cliffjumper and Shockwave and
you mentioned number. I'm doing two different lists. I'm doing 2 lists. I'm doing the bots I acquired during that time period, and then my only.
What the fuck? Don't be rude. Oh, come on! Can't you ever just answer a damn question?
You've got enough of the siege one. We don't need the third party.
Right. So number 3 would be.
Is it 3? I'm lost now. Are we on a different level?
No. Number
feels like shots at home.
Number 3
alcohol
would be this guy, New Age Soundwave. So I loved him so much that I bought 2 of him. I got his alternate.
Great Hasbro release.
We never said Hasbro. We said Transformers that you acquired during the War for Cybertron trilogy. I asked a question.
Who said that?
I asked a question in that.
No, we spelled it out for you. We said it has to be from that line.
Is it bots that I acquired from War for Cybertron during that time period? And you went, yes.
People are asking why you get 2 lists.
What? I always get 2 lists. Number 3.
You said that like a flex. I always get 2 lists. That's why I get all the ladies.
I don't get any
and
ladies.
the wife.
I list things twice.
I think this is one. I don't know if you correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. This is one of the first New Age figures with die cast, and it's actually got the magnetic here as well. And when you compare this to the actual MP figure, he proportionally and actual articulation and scale in both modes, he actually has a better alt mode as well. The thing compacts up better than the actual MP bot. It's actually
it's
better,
lovely.
I think.
The Seekers did have diecast as well, didn't they?
They did, but they were okay. Number 3 is your Fanstoys one actually. So that's number 3. Number 2 is Starscream actually, MP52, or your Fanstoys one, your free Wi-Fi. That's my number 2. I think he was such a great figure. Came with all the accessories that you wanted. Great alt mode, transformation symbol. I didn't have the floppy bits that everyone else had. I was quite lucky with that. So
I'm so lost now where you're going.
When you get a bit older,
you never have the floppy bits, do you? You're always...
Number 2 for my Chug figures would be Run Amok and Runabout, which are over there. I think I really like their transformation. I think they
good dynamic pointing there, Alexis.
They're
the worst transform.
I'm not even joking.
They're the worst they transform.
Yeah,
where we are.
They're not great.
How does this work?
No, they came straight. I think
whilst Alexis is doing his top 20 UK releases of G1, please feel free to put your top 5 War for Cybertron robots in the chat, and we'll stick them up on the show.
These guys
top
are really
5 War for Cybertron.
You tell us yours so we can all tell you how wrong you are too.
These guys are really quite something. I think they came a clever transformation. It's more masterpiece.
Clever. It's a freaking nightmare.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a massive
pain
in the ass.
I spent half an hour trying to put fucking Magnus together over there in the Legends collection. So
you see, you just go. That doesn't surprise me.
These were a walk in the park. These things are really good. I think they're very clever, very articulate. They were so posable. I have them in my MP collection for that very reason. However, I will be selling them because of X Transport. So if you want them,
so if you are interested, stay tuned.
And the show ends as it always does.
And number one, the big number one who wants a drum roll is
we need to get the
Optus Pexus.
We need to get the Only Fools and Horses theme tune ready for every time he tries to sell something.
This figure is absolutely amazing. This is probably the best third-party figure. It's like a Flames Toys figure, like the articulation. It's one of the best posable figures ever made. It's so phenomenal. If you haven't had one of these, then for £100, Fanstoys don't get posable figures as good as these. Fanstoys actually don't have as much posable parts they used to. They put more into the actual transformation these days. The engineering costs a lot more nowadays than the actual articulation standard, so they lack in one, pushing the other, and you can tell Hasbro been doing the same thing really. In that sort of situation, they've been lacking on the. Sorry, I'm pausing because my headphones almost died there. They said battery low. With the articulation, they either go articulation, alt mode, or transformation. They can't do all three. It's very hard to get all three. But number one in the Chugs collection, which is the figure that I loved from the original Marvel comics, and that's because of he brought in Triptychon to save the day and kill all the zombies. Who is it, guys?
Oh, it's Gary Bones.
Gary Lineker.
Fly Wheels. Oh. Yes. Very simple bot, but very well done. I just thought he's obviously very simple bot, as I said, but the way he transforms, the articulation, what he has, he's this easy bot to know, but I just love him. He's very unappreciated generally. But
do you have him posed with your DJD?
No.
Have you tried that yet?
I have not. I don't think he's.
This isn't a spoiler this time, is it? You've read this now, haven't you?
Yeah, I know. He's got big.
Thank God for that.
He would pose well in that situation because he's depicted as quite small in IDW. But for me, like with Cliff Jumper, these two bots sit on my desk. They're my desk bots.
Gazatron said about Jetfire.
Do you know what? Jetfire was in my 12.
I haven't got them unboxed. So.
I think it's a fantastic bot, but there's so many, and I find the others more playable. They're easier to pick up and just have a fiddle with. Whereas Jetfire, because of his size and everything, I factored that in as like I like to be able to get a bot because I don't get a lot of free time with the kids and everything else going on. Even with like COVID, like you'd think, oh well, you must have had it loads of time just sitting about, but I'm not because Claire's been ill. I've been having to basically just kind of get on with it because otherwise nothing's getting done. The kids have nobody to look after them. No, nobody gets fed. So
exactly, sorry, probably wasn't a funny thing to do. The kids don't get fed.
It is true though,
and I'll never know that pain.
No, you will not. You look distraught.
You and your lack of seed spreading. Right.
Nobody said he doesn't do that.
That's it for the show. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Really, thank you for watching and persevering with us. If you go to Facebook, you can find us all if you search for TFUK, or there's a special Facebook group called Transformers The Show. Jamie, what is the Twitter?
At Twitter at TF Show UK.
Follow us. We are so controversial. And Alexis, what is the bloody Instagram?
And artistic. Sometimes we post pictures in black and white for that of artistic nature.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Do that loads. Bye-bye.